The folks here in Florida definitely used to this. Rain in the forecast as we join you from Everbank Stadium here in the city of Jacksonville. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Still going. One man to beat, and he will score. Touchdown, Eagles. So how about that? You want to talk about coming into a hostile environment and just silencing the crowd. They just did it.
Couldn't be a better start. There's no way. All week long, they've talked about having this type of a start, but I think they looked at it from the offensive team's perspective. You know, get the opening kickoff. You guys control the ball. A lot of people are now going to say, okay, now your offense, will they be out of whack? No, not at all. They're going to be absolutely happy. They're relaxed. They took care of business for them. They don't have any pressure now. They can just go play.
He's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
Ready? Red on red. Here we go.
They'll get this out quickly to Campbell. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
The line of scrimmage.
All right, let's go.
Here's Lawrence to throw. They'll get this out to Tootin. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Jaguars, first down.
Hey, go.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Lawrence. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Campbell. The Jaguars had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
You look at this Eagle defense. This unit, third best in the NFL in stopping the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
That is caught. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Hey. Same right. Go. Here we go.
They go play action with Lawrence. Thomas brings it in. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
11, 11. Hey, let's go. Gun. Hey, I'm gun. 11, 11.
Now Lawrence. That's complete. He's got Tootin. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
6-yard pickup.
This 2nd and 4.
At the 15-yard line.
They'll run. This is Bashal Tootin. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
No gain on the play. It's now 3rd and 4.
Here we go, sir.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
They'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now, this defense for the Eagles, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And that will be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start on the ground with Shipley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. 3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, when you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives a running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary.
You look at this Jaguar defense. They enter this one number 13, Charles, in the NFL in stopping the run.
And that play right there shows exactly why they're so good against the run. Held the line of scrimmage, held the point of attack, and stuffed him for no gain.
That'll be caught by Shipley. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Bigsby. And a promising start as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Throwing is Hurts. This is Smith to the ground. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Hurts completing this one quickly. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Brock Bowers, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles take a 3-touchdown lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
At their own 22-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
Lawrence will throw. And it's Tootin out of the backfield. And he will have a Jaguars 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Lawrence going to move him around a bit.
At the 32-yard line.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now.
The score, Eagles 28, Jaguars 0. Jake Elliott to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. This is brought in at the 21. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Another run by Bigsby. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
And the Eagles, first down. It's a gain of 17 yards.
They go play action with Hurts. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20.
It's 2nd down.
Hurts sets up to throw it. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Philly. And even 40 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Pass complete right side to Bowers. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Hurts. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. Devontae Smith, halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Eagles would extend their lead here just before halftime. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
At their own 20-yard line.
Okay, ready? These are 24.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Red on red.
Now Lawrence. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Andrew McCullough. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott good on the extra point. And it is 42-0. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40.
They're on the 39-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
All right, let's go.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, Lion. Son, this is Hunt. Here we go, son.
Now Lawrence to throw. And Thomas has it. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one goes for 24 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Take right open. Go, let's go. 30 left.
Again, it's Lawrence. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
And that's a lesson learned from the previous drive. Last time he forced one, and it turned into a pick-6. Here, he knows better, and he just throws that one away.
Here's Lawrence. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. It's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down, and it'll be a turnover on downs. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there's never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They moved it a combined 33 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
10 at the 47-yard line.
And Bigsby once more. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's Hurts to throw. They'll get the tight end Bowers involved there. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 40. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
At the 40-yard line.
From the gun, Bigsby. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. The 71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
A gain of 14.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Take Bigsby, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
All right, let's go.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. A third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Hey. Tomato. Here we go.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way with the football. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Here's a give to Bigsby. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been a bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Right back to him on 1st down. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now a handoff to Bigsby. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Take Bigsby. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Eagles are on their way to a 2-0 start. Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. And they're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Bearing for the sack by big Jalen Carter.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
Open man, and that's Campbell. That's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Back to the same target, Campbell. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Here's Bigsby. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 135 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
On the carry, Bigsby. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup at 13 sets them up 1st and goal.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
8-yard line.
A run here with Bigsby. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep. So for the Eagles, it's an early road victory as they move to 2-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.